All right, Kristin, and you've had a lot of success in this so far, so you're the perfect person to talk about this. Selling luxury listings in 2025. And maybe you can comment even a little on how it's different this year than maybe previous years.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are steps for selling any house, right, that you follow every single time. But sometimes in that luxury price point, oftentimes it's going to take more than just putting the listing into the MLS.
Yeah, want some examples of more?
Yeah, the first thing that you should know as a luxury seller is that in our area, Southeast Michigan, 1 out of 12 buyers is cash from overseas. People are coming from other countries. We have a very ethnically diverse area. It's one of the things that makes Southeast Michigan so special, is our melting pot in general, right?
Agreed.
But just because the Delia Group is part of the KW Luxury Program, we have the ability to have your listing syndicated into 19 different native languages. So these shoppers can see the details of your home in their native language. It's so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Okay, so one, from what I heard from you there, is that the people that are buying the houses need to be able to read in their native language of what is available, all the features, all the benefits, all the amenities for the property that they're interested in.
100%.
That way, literally, there's nothing lost in translation. Is
100%.
that fair?
Yes.
Okay, what else?
Well, the second thing to consider when you're selling a luxury home is who your buyer is actually going to be, right? And a lot of times in these price ranges, it's a relocating executive, things like this. We are going to work in conjunction with our relocation program to put this listing in front of all of the major relocation companies nationwide. There's about 52 of them.
Okay, so
we'll work with.
You want to have a realtor that knows how to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What else?
Well, on top of that, right, it's the strategic pricing that's going to cause your home to sell. Our team just recently put a home under contract. We represented both the buyer and the seller.
Yeah.
1 weekend on the market, inside of a neighborhood that typically has a 500 plus days on market timeline on the market. Right. Yeah. So choosing that strategic price and doing the bits and pieces of the marketing that are actually going to attract to the listing. We did some really cool videos at this house.
Yeah.
YouTube is usually the second most populated search result on the internet. So we'll make sure the home is featured in full video on YouTube so you can drive those results right to your listing.
I'd like to also comment that we picked the right strategic partner on video for that listing that had reach in and of themselves as well. So we were able to take the existing videographer that we did research on that we knew had a large reach, and then we partnered with them, and then our combined ended up extending that beyond what just our personal circle was, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So I think that's important too. What else?
Well, when you're selling a house of this caliber, to further your point, you want as big of a reach as possible, right? So having those connections, and those connections don't stop at photographers. It's also the other agents in the community that you work with on a regular basis, and really getting into the networking pieces of finding the right buyer for a Lux property.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect bridge into what else would be your network within the agent community, yes. Right? What makes that important?
Well, sometimes I'm able to pick up the phone, or just based upon my day-to-day interactions, I already know who has the buyer for a property that I'm walking into, right? And there's nothing more convenient, especially for a luxury home where days on market tend to be higher naturally, than knowing where the buyer is in advance.
Yeah, so from what I heard from you is if you have connections with the right people, you can make that sale as convenient as possible for the seller, because they may not need to have their house show ready over an extended period of time. They may have a buyer who's just interested in buying it before it ever went on the market.
100%. Imagine you've got 10,000 square feet of finished living space and you have to stage every inch of it, right? So there's a huge value in being able to make those connections, off the market or on the market.
I mean, we just walked one that was 15,000 square feet. I mean, just to show it's going to take over an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got to be gone all the time. I mean, that's not great dollar per hour for these people, right?
100%.
What else would you say?
Well, on top of that, like I said, just a solid marketing strategy, choosing the strategic price. We're really careful to review with our sellers the price that's going to cause the market to come for the house, instead of waiting for the market to, trickle in and offer that's usually going to be at that price point below asking price, and a huge negotiation gap.
Right. 100%. So if you have any questions on selling luxury real estate in 2025 here in Southeast Michigan, because I think that's specific to our market, go ahead and reach out. We have great advice for you. We can match you with a great luxury agent like Kristin. Thank you.